I'm glad to say that AI has not replaced my job. All it's done is replace where I used to go to get my answers. I don't need to jump across loads of forums. I don't need to copy and paste a random snippet. I don't need to guess anymore. I can sit with a problem and then with AI as my co-partner, we can solve it. So let me break it down to you, okay? I am now able to solve a lot more problems than I ever could before. I've always considered myself as a problem solver throughout my career in the NHS, working as an analyst, working with loads of teams. I love to look beyond what other people are doing, and AI has enabled me to apply that same mentality to web design as well. So I'm going to run through some examples, and please do let me know in the comments if this applies to you or if you have a different way of thinking. And by the way, I'm Imran from Web Squadron. I'm not an influencer. I'm just here to help you think differently and achieve a whole lot more. So like I said, I could interrogate problems without having to go over to Experts Exchange, Reddit, loads of forums. Do you remember in the old days, whenever you had a problem with a bit of CSS code or you wanted to imitate or do something like a code pen, you would jump onto Reddit, you would go onto Google, and you started losing like hours and hours of your life trying to understand if someone had solved that problem. And when you thought you found a bit of code that could do it for you, you realize you were nowhere near. Thanks to ChatGPT and other AI platforms, I'm able to interrogate a problem or something I've got and find a solution for it. Where do you think so many of the code snippets that I've done in 2025 came from? Now, that's not all just AI. A lot of it is my thinking and development as well. But without AI, I would not have been able to achieve so many of the amazing tools and add-ons for WordPress that I've created. The other great thing about AI is how you can analyze what a client actually wants. Like once you understand their aims and goals and then you stick that into ChatGPT or anything else, you can start to formulate a structure. Now, I usually already have something in mind, but AI can suddenly throw something in that you go, I overlooked that. I did not realize I need to put more emphasis on that aspect of it. It can even generate lots of different headlines and content for you as well, especially when your client has only provided you with like a scribble of a sheet of a spec. AI just cuts down the thinking time I had to spend on formulating what we're going to do with the client's aims. And the other really cool thing, and I don't use this as much, but I'm letting you know about it, for those of you that like to do a lot of cold calling and cold emailing, you could use AI to help generate a lot of mockups. I would say keep it simple and just go for like a header and a hero banner, not a full-blown website. So maybe you're reaching out to a business and you're going to go, I think something like this would work so much more better for you. And what you can really do when you're prompting with AI and generating those images, like, it's not a full-blown, JSON template file. It might just be an image. You can be pretty specific. So you might say it's got to be something that is very easily achievable with Elementor or WordPress or any other tool, so that if a client likes it, you've not made a rod for your back. Imagine you go and give them like an image of something really complex, like it's a video and stuff are flying in everywhere, and now you have to rebuild that in your preferred page builder. So you can be really, really clever about it. But again, AI is so quick and amazing. You could take an existing website, take a screenshot and say, if we were going to make this better using Elementor, how do you think it should look? And it will generate it for you. And I would probably recommend using Gemini when you are generating images. It is by far the best one at the moment. And like I just said, where you could take an existing website and you could say, let's generate a different look for it. You could actually do that with another website you're building or one that a client's got. You could literally say to it, what can we do about the flow or the structure? What about the call to actions? Here's all the products. Could we make this better? Have we got too much? Do you think the filter system has got too many options on there? Look at the footer. Isn't it drop dead boring? How can we make it more imaginative or clearer? But what I love to do with my own websites and other clients' websites and other businesses, in fact, sometimes I'll see a feature on another website and I really like it. And I'm wondering, how could we replicate or do that in WordPress, whether it's just straight HTML, CSS, or a bit of JavaScripting? And what you can do is go to the website, right-click on the website. If you want to inspect because you want to get the specific CSS ID or the class name or whatever else they're doing in there, maybe it's styling, you can do that. But what I like to do is go over, right-click, go and view the page source. And this could be really massive, but I don't care. What you then do is right-click again and save that page source to your hard drive. And then you go and open ChatGPT, you import it, and you say, look at the header or look at this part of the page. You can even add in a screenshot to help it if you want. And then you say, how can I replicate that inside of Elementor? And if you do have to use a bit of extra CSS or JavaScript or even a code snippet, 9 times out of 10, it will generate it for you on the first time. And if it doesn't get it completely right, doesn't matter. Use the code it gives you, then go back to the new page source of what you've just created and now import that back into ChatGPT and say, that was great, but there's a bit of a problem. Maybe the animation's too fast, maybe the text isn't loading correctly, and you will eventually get there. How many times have you looked at a website and it had done something and you couldn't quite work out how it did it? And if you're able to replicate that something that someone else has done without having to install extra plugins, extra bloats, back-end coding, and you can keep it really simple, you're in control. And then when you want to fine-tune it, you just take that code back into ChatGPT and say, great, this was okay 2 months ago, but now my client wants something a little bit different. Can you see how so far AI is my co-partner? It's helping me and I'm working with it. Speaking about plugins and themes and templates, AI again can help me to compare or understand what are the different features. So before, if you wanted a booking plugin or you wanted to do something, I don't know, whatever your client wants, you go over to Google and you would say top 10 plugins, and you might do a search on Google for the latest month or the latest year, and you find a blog post and it will talk about XYZ. Often, a lot of those blog posts are trying to steer you to 1 or 2 solutions. I can now go over to AI and say, this is what I want. Am I happy with a free solution or a paid solution? How much maximum are we willing to pay? What are some of the features we're after? And it will then start to give you that information. And we can keep prompting as much as we want if we're not fully happy with what it gives us. And we can even go further. We can even say, okay, great, I will probably use this booking plugin or this whatever we've decided we're going to go for. But if I wanted to take it a step further, could I do that with AI? So you might get a booking form and the plugin only gives you so much styling, really, really basic. And when you contact the plugin developers, they say, yeah, okay, we could adapt it for you, but the code is going to cost you a hefty amount, $500-$600, whatever. You could use the AI to manipulate it to get the specific look that you want. Earlier, I said that, sometimes I like to analyze my own websites or other business websites, and this is where AI is going to start to spot the inconsistencies, where your branding or your palette is off key, maybe accessibility issues, maybe your wording isn't very good, maybe you've got too much wording and you need to let it breathe a little bit more. AI is your partner. Okay, it's not going to tell you exactly what to do or what you should do, because you shouldn't blindly just follow whatever AI gives you. And you can disagree with it and argue back and make your own decision. And that's the really important bit. You're in control of your decision making. But if AI is going to help to inform me of a problem that I overlooked or I intentionally overlooked, and now it goes, this could be a big problem for you later on. Isn't that a good thing? Another way that AI is a co-partner for me is where I'm using it to generate images with Gemini. And I'm not just generating images. Maybe I've got an existing image and I now want to do a color change, or I want to change the scenery or a background or something. There are so many ways that you can use AI to help you develop things in a more efficient, methodical, or faster way. But AI can falter quite a lot too. Sometimes it overcomplicates designs and coding, and I have to always pull it back and sometimes be quite blunt with, what the fuck are you doing? Because AI is not like mistake proof, okay? It does make mistakes. And 5 times out of 10, I will override what it's telling me and I will say, no, go back a step. No, start again. And I will start to dictate the flow or the process. I want to do X, and then we're going to do Y, and then I want you to move this over here. And then we'll do Z and A and B and C. And a lot of the time, AI does sometimes say to me, I never considered that. I never realized that this is actually a better way to do it. This is more efficient. This now removes risk. So you've always got to bring to the table what you would probably do in real life in a meeting. If you were trying to build something, right, would you follow the instructions? Which, if you knew the instructions were well thought out, you could do so. But if someone tells you how to do something and they're just giving their opinion, wouldn't you question it a little bit and go, well, should I follow or should I adapt? Because I know I'm going to come across a bit of a problem. This is all down to 3D and 4D thinking, all right? 2D thinking is they'll just do what they're told, but 3D and 4D thinking is depth and managing risk and thinking about the implications if you don't do it right. There's one thing I can definitely say from experience. As a child, as a teenager, growing up 20 years as head of business intelligence and analytics in the NHS, is that when it comes to solving problems in your life, it's always because there was some form of discomfort, there was some form of frustration, and also a little bit of curiosity. Like, everything's okay, but what if I could make it a little bit better? And when you analyze what's making you feel frustrated or how you're going to improve something, you start to innovate. You find a slightly different way of how to make things so much easier. And AI is the catalyst that helps me innovate. It's my co-partner, it's my co-founder, it's practically my friend. Now, some of you are going to fear AI because you feel that your clients will use it for web designing, and to be honest, they already are, but you could say the same about when Wix and Squarespace and other solutions came on the scene. I remember reading articles and posts about people saying that WordPress was down on its knees now. Wix and Squarespace were the WordPress killers. But look at where we are now. They can coexist, and if people just want to use AI to create their websites, it's a bit like Bluehost and GoDaddy and so many other platforms out there where you sign up for their host and then it would generate a website for you. They've always been around, but then people want something that actually achieves their aims and their goals. That's where you can come in. And I know you're going to say, but AI will probably be able to do that. It will then retransform the website. Yeah, but then what? You're going to go to AI to keep prompting every time you want to make a little change here or there. And sometimes when you have a fully coded solution, it's not that easy to just drag and drop your way out of a problem. I personally think that AI will destroy low-value repetition websites. I'm talking about the one-page websites, the brochure websites, the landing page websites, the link tree websites. These are things that AI can very easily replicate. They're just like repetitious websites, right? You know, what one person has ain't that dissimilar to what someone else has. Because people who focus and design those kind of websites, they were always on borrowed time. They were doing something that you could easily do with Canva or anything else. So AI is really quickly and easily going to eat up the market for quick solutions. I'm talking about cheap websites. Websites that are created like within an hour. Disposable websites. So if your business completely revolves around just a turnkey solution built on templates, we'll change your logo, we'll change your text, you need to worry because AI is already here and it's eating up that market. But if the value you bring is solving problems, thinking deeper, understanding what the outcomes need to be for you, the client or the business, and you're making the right decisions when things aren't always obvious. Like AI might say, here's the layout to go for. But you might go, but I know what kind of visitors are going to visit this website. I know what kind of questions they're going to want to answer. And even after you re-prompt, AI might not still get it right. This is where you got to bring in your skill, experience, and knowledge. You're the decision maker at the end of the day. AI works alongside you. It's your co-partner, okay? But you get to override it. You get to dictate if you want to go in a different direction. I don't see web designers disappearing in an AI world because the ones that can bring depth will survive. But if you are just a designer who just builds it and doesn't like to think a bit too deep, then you will struggle. And if you're struggling, stick it in the comments. Let's have a discussion about it. Maybe we can help you out. Just find a way and make AI be your co-partner. I'm Imran from Web Squadron. I hope you like, subscribe, share, and follow. Go sign up for our YouTube channel, exclusive videos. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.